and welcome to another criticism of the real Silent Hill experienced doc. And today I'm going to tackle the supplementary material of multidimensional. That's actually a rebuttal to the multidimensional theory that they want to say it's all in one reality. So I gathered up a list of things that make that not possible. And it includes in-game and out-game sources, so it includes lost memories. First of all, the first subject was that they came across as the town wasn't abandoned. Or it was abandoned, I'm sorry. It was abandoned. The problem with that is that there's no evidence that it was abandoned. In fact, you see a lot of people's personal items strung about and all this stuff, and you got the restoration of the cult in Silent Hill 3, so how could this possibly be true? I mean, first of all, you got Harry killing a cult member who had tracked him down in Portland, Maine, and found Cheryl, or found Heather, it doesn't matter, and killed, he killed him. And that's how they went under the witness protection program. And then you have the ghost in Silent Hill 4, who is a woman that Walter killed that would go to the church in Silent Hill all the time. And you got memos strung about in Silent Hill 4 that talk about Walter creating his own world. You got Billy and Miriam being killed during the newspaper that James found was fairly recent, right? And then you got Jimmy Stone. He killed Jimmy Stone, and that dissolved the order. And you got Leonard staying in the hospital in Silent Hill 3. I mean, why would he be in a mental hospital if it was abandoned? And Stanley, what about Stanley? Then you have, like, the Koshiki guidebook for Silent Hill 1 talking about how the other world in Silent Hill 1 is connected to Alessa's dreaming and her REM sleep. It kind of implies that the dark part of Silent Hill, when the town goes into complete darkness, is part of her REM sleep. And you have Andrew being a guard for the prison of the Order, and James and Mary visiting Silent Hill when they were 25 and 27, which it couldn't have been abandoned if they were visiting it. I mean, like, at the time of Silent Hill 2, they're 25 and 27. There is no way that it would take that long. I mean, if we're the 17-year gap, it had to be fairly recent. Memos indicate Silent Hill is a peaceful tourist town. Several memos do throughout the games. Harry calls it the other world, and in the original script he called it another world. And this was used in both Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3. Now, if this is a red herring and this is not another world, then why did the creators put that in there? The memo in Brookhaven, which they cited in the documentary, talks about the other side and the unreality. And the reason why the other world appears in other places is because it's literally everywhere, because it's connected to people's minds. This is something that Lost Memories says, and the only difference between Silent Hill's other world and everybody else's or everywhere else's is the unique ability to show what's in people's hearts. The various religions that Oahu cites as a source of inspiration, including the Aztec, Mayan, and Celtic religions, and Nordic, conflict entirely with this being one reality. They all deal with other worlds and dreaming, and when you dream, you go into that other world, which is exactly how Silent Hill 1 plays out. When they're talking in Silent Hill 3, Douglas talks about it used to be a nice, quiet little town, and that he went there on a missing persons case. Granted, he is old, and this could have been during Silent Hill 1. I completely doubt it. He never says anything about the town being abandoned at all. He went there on a missing persons case and couldn't find the person. He doesn't say, there was nobody in the town when I went there. He doesn't say that. One of the biggest things that conflicts with this idea is that Vincent rebuilt the order from the ground up. Like, if the town was abandoned, how would he rebuild it? Like, the whole thing in their argument is that the town is abandoned after the events of Silent Hill 1 and only the cult remains. But the cult died after Silent Hill 1, according to Lost Memories and Silent Hill 4 and other games, and Vincent resurrected the cult. And he talks extensively about that during the 17-year period between 1 and 3. He resurrected the cult back to its former glory, or at least somewhat of some glory. How would he be able, I mean, why would the cult be dead if it just doesn't make any sense? I mean, and then the fact that people left their belongings, everything is strung out there. It doesn't... Then you have the hotel fire in Silent Hill 2. Who would put the cautionary... If you see the hotel, when James's delusion crumbles, you notice that there's cautionary tape, that somebody put out the fire. Somebody had to stop the fire. The place is not completely obliterated. It burned, but it's not completely obliterated. Who put the caution tape there? If there was nothing but cult members in there, who's gonna fight fires? Who left the heater on? Because according to Lost Memories, it implies, and in the game it implies, that the heater in the basement was the cause of the fire that burned down the hotel when James was gone, and Mary was gone after they had finished visiting Silent Hill. I mean, who left the heater on? It can't be members of the Order, because members of the Order, according to a lot of sources, including Silent Hill 1, didn't want the tourists in the town. And we know the hotel and the amusement park that are right next to each other are obviously tourist traps. What the biggest thing is that, I mean, Walter started, he couldn't have killed people. Okay, I'll just get on the Walter thing later. The other thing is that Silent Hill doesn't create monsters from nothing. They all come from people's hearts, minds, blah 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 blah. Well, the other citation, well, first of all, the monsters are thought forms. And you see that in Silent Hill 1 when you're seeing Alessa's nightmare, her nightmarish delusions come to life, according to Harry. You see all her thoughts and stuff being manifested as monsters. That's not nothing. Then you have them citing the Phantoms by Dean Koontz as evidence. Silent Hill games explicitly use the word world, or another world, or other world in memos in the script. This conflicts with this theory. I mean, it's used all the time. So why would this stuff be being used if it's a red herring, according to the Silent Hill documentary? The problem with them citing James is that we only see what James sees. So we have no idea what's really going on. We can't say, because it seems like at the beginning of Silent Hill 2, James is right in the other world. He doesn't go out of it. Laura and especially Eddie, and I will get this in another video, seem to fluctuate in between reality and the other world. Laura not so much as Eddie does, because Eddie's obviously a psychopath. And it's similar to seeing Heather's point of view in Silent Hill 3 when you fight the cult member on top of the rooftop after Harry. You find Harry's dead body, and it's actually not a monster. It's just a cult member, but Heather's because it killed her father. So I mean, we only see what Heather sees, and that's the same application in 2. We only see what James sees, and James is completely delusional. So it's really hard to tell what's real and what isn't in certain cases, and that's why we look at other games to confirm what is real and what isn't. I mean, except at the end of Silent Hill 2, because he does actually wake from his delusion. The reason Laura doesn't see monsters, according to Lost Memories, is she has no darkness in her heart. And this is taken as a metaphor for sin, the darkness in people's hearts. And because she's an innocent person, she doesn't see the monsters. That's why. So even if she was in the other world, she doesn't see the monsters, and she's not delusional. This is made clear in Silent Hill 2 that she isn't delusional.